Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we're going to make a bracelet, a multi-strand bracelet using this cute little elephant piece. Now I got this at Studio 2 Beads shop in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I love this thing. I think it is so cute. So I'm excited to make a bracelet to go with it. And I've kind of got inspired a little bit by the colors on this pendant. Now this is available on my website if you're interested, but I love the turquoise and the red together. And so I think I'm going to make the pendant eventually to go along with this little elephant, but I wanted to use those colors so I could have them matching. So I got these gorgeous agate beads. These are faceted crackle agate, and I got these at the Intergalactic Bead Show when it came to Raleigh. And then I have these beautiful beads are actually on Bargain Bead Box's website. They're frosted quartz, I think. Anyway, they're so pretty. I bought them in this size, and then I went back and got them in a couple other sizes because I like them so much. And then we're going to use those. And then I have these really pretty banded agate beads that I believe I got off of Bargain Bead Box's website, but these were a while ago, so I don't know that they're still available. They may be, but I just like them with this combo here. I have these really cool beads, and I'm not sure where I got these. I've had them for a while, but I thought they looked really cool with the elephant, so I'm going to use those. This is Sea Sediment Jasper. I got this from eBay. I'm going to use some of it. I have these 5-petal bead caps. These are available on my website right now. I have several Wire Guardians and crimp beads because we're going to be using Tiger Tail. Now this is 49 strand Tiger Tail by Beadalon. And I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 4 lengths of it cut. I don't think I'm going to need any more than that, so I'm going to end up cutting those in half. And then I have some chain. I got this at the Intergalactic Bead Show as well, and I'm going to use that on either side of my elephant here just to give it a texture boost. And I've got a cute little elephant lobster clasp. I have no idea where I got this. I've had it for a long time. I think maybe it came from AliExpress, but I'm not sure, but I love it. And I'm noticing though that it has a gap here, so I may need to see if I have another one, because I think I do. Let's see if it has a gap. It does too, so maybe they just come that way, but that one seems to have a smaller gap, so we'll use him. Okay, and of course I've got my jewelry tools. I've got an eye pin here. I've got some silver spacers, and I think that that's all you're going to need other than some jump rings. I'm using these oval jump rings, and I really like these because if you look at them, when they hang, gravity pulls them down and the opening is on the side. So they're less likely to come undone, and I have those on my website right now too. They're brand new. I just got them. So grab your stuff, whatever you're going to use, if you want to do this along with me, and we will get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sit my beads out and kind of decide how I want them to go. So I know right away that I'm going to have several strands that are going to need to come down. I've got loops on my elephant that I will hook them to, but they're going to need something to hook onto at the end. So I'm going to use 2 of the links from this chain and just turn them sideways, I think, or they may end up going that way. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to use these 2 links from the chain to hook everything onto at the end. Okay. And then I've got my tiger tail, and I've cut these in like 12-inch lengths. So I'm just going to cut them in half because I don't need 12 inches for one side, but I will need 6 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the tiger tail in the middle. And then I'm just going to lay out my beads. So I know that I want these red beads for sure. And I'm staggering it. So some people would do it like this. I don't want to do that. I want to stagger it because I like the way that this looks a lot better than having all the red, all the blue. I just like this look a lot better. So that's the way I'm going to do mine. You can do it however you want. And I think what I will do is do some blue here with one of those in the middle. and I'm just kind of trying to get a pattern. I actually had a pattern laid out, but then I had to pick all this up because we showed our house, and I didn't take a picture of it before I picked it all up, which was a mistake, but that's what I did. So now I'm going to lay it back out again. And I really like these sea sediment jasper pieces. I may pull them in here just so I have some of the red down in this row and up here in this row. And then I might pull a little blue up in here like this. I like to try to pull all the colors into each row if I can. And I've got some silver spacers, so I will be using those and some of these bead caps. Couldn't think of what they were called. So I'll be using those. So that'll pull the silver into all 3 rows. We've got blue in all the rows except for the middle, and I'm not going to worry about doing anything on the chain, and red. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tiger tail here, and I am going to go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and hook it on with my wire guardian and my crimp bead to my little elephant. Now, somebody asked me the other day what size wire guardians I use. I didn't even know wire guardians came in more than one size. I have no idea what size these are. I have had these in my stash for a long time, and I don't even know. I wasn't aware they came in different sizes, but I guess they do. I take mine and I bend it together right here. I like to do that. I don't know why. I just feel like it makes it look a little neater. So you're going to put your tiger tail through your wire guardian. Then you're going to hook your wire guardian right onto your little elephant like this. And then you're going to put your crimp bead on. Now I'm not using crimp bead covers, and I actually am I need to use my crimping pliers. I'm going to try them out on this. I'm not very good at them. They're just not my thing, but I don't even know where they are at the moment. Oh, here they are. Okay, so I'm going to try them out on this. I know somebody put a video on my Facebook page the other day on how to correctly use these crimping pliers, and I watched it, but I didn't retain any of it, I think because I watched it really late at night. So I really need to go back and watch it. But it gave some tip about making the divot. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm just going to use these crimping pliers. So the first thing that you're supposed to do, I think, is put it in the channel that has the little, if you can see, this one here is going to flatten it into this little, it's going to put a little divot in there. So that's where I'm supposed to go first. So I'm going there. It's going to put the little divot, and then you're supposed to rotate it and go to the top here, and then it's supposed to make it a ball, which, I don't think they look good no matter what you do, but I guess that's sort of a ball. I don't know. Pull on it, make sure it's secure, and then we're going to string on our beads. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay, so we're going to put on a spacer bead first. Now I have to watch because I have an extremely tiny wrist, and so it's a bummer. I can't put on a lot of beads, and I hate that because there's so many pretty beads and I want to use them all, and I can't. So I have to really watch my lengths. So let me go ahead and just get started. I'm going to do a silver spacer, and then a bead cap, and then my blue bead, and then another bead cap. I like to do bead caps back to back. I think it makes it really pretty. So I'm going to do another one, another blue bead, just like that. See how it gives it, I think it makes it look really fancy. And another bead cap. Now I'm going to put on my sea sediment jasper piece, my silver little cool thing, my sea sediment jasper, and then I'm just going to do the same thing with these beads here, I think. I'm going to have to measure this and make sure, but let's do those two. This one, I can already tell it's going to be too long. I'm going to have to take one of the blue beads out, I think. But let's just look. Yeah, let me get my ruler. All right, so right here, I've already got 4.5 inches. So this section right here is 3 inches. If I do over here, I'm going to have 6 inches. That's going to make it about 7, which is really kind of long, but I think actually it might be okay. I think it will. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put bead stoppers on here. I'm not going to crimp these yet. So let's put a bead stopper on there just so that'll stay where it needs to stay. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my other half over here. Whoops. So I'm just going to grab the other piece of my tiger tail and do the same thing that I just did. I'm putting on my wire guardian. Just like this. Whoops. I scooted him down too far. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put him on here. Now, I want to remember that I want this to be up here on the other side. I'm zigzagging it. So, I got to remember that. Then I'm going to put my crimp bead on. Get it over both wires. Is it over both wires? Yes, okay. And then, like I said before, I like to take my plier and I just like to squeeze this together just so it's not such of a wide opening. Pull your crimp bead up. Okay. And then I'm just going to crimp it. And again, I'm not a fan of crimping. I don't know. I don't feel like they make it look any better. But I feel like I should do it just because it's the right thing to do. I don't know. Okay. There it is. It's secure. That's all that matters, actually, to me. And it is, like, not even... It's just weird looking. I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to take this silver spacer, put it on. It's going over both wires, hopefully. Okay, and then I'm going to do my bead cap, my blue bead, and I just like to put these over. I like to run a little bit of the wire, the excess that I have from where I put on my wire guardian and crimped it. I just like to run it back through those beads. I don't like to trim it right off at the crimp. I just feel like it makes it more secure this way. Oh, we just got another showing. It popped up on my phone at 3 o'clock. What time is it? Alexa, current time.
It's 12:52 p.m.
Oh, okay. I'm good. I got a little worried. I'm like, do I have to get out of the house right at this moment? So we have to get the dog. We have to go in the car somewhere and just wait, you know, until they're done. But so I just didn't want to be sitting here when they show up making a video. But all right. So I'm putting all of these on, just like I did on the other half. But the more showings we get, the better. I'm excited for that. This will be our third one. So hopefully somebody will make an offer and we can start looking for a place ourselves. We can't buy until we sell. Unfortunately, I wish we could, but we can't. So we got to sell this one and then we can get on the ball and look for it. We've been looking, but you know, we just haven't made any. We can't make an offer. Now this is going to be way too long. I can just tell already. Let me measure it again. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be hecka long. Yeah, so it's 7 inches, which is normal for some people, but is not normal for me. So I will have to take off these just the last blue bead. That's all. I'm just going to take that one off and it'll be fine. That'll make it shorter. Because by the time I add the clasp too, you know, it's going to be super long on me. And I don't like these kind of bracelets, the tiger tail kind. I don't like these to be too long. I know, I saw it. 3 o'clock. So we got a little while, Chris is telling me. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to do our next strand. Now I want this chain strand to go in the middle, like this. And then I'm going to do another strand. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this chain strand on with a jump ring, just so it's on there. And like I said, I want these to be zigzagged. So let's go ahead and put the chain on, just so we can see what we're doing. I love these oval jump rings. I think I'm going to go to them exclusively, except for if I need a smaller, you know, like a teeny tiny one. But I love the oval ones. Okay. And, whoops. We're going to go ahead and attach the other side as well. So I do hope that tomorrow, I've got a bunch of orders to fill on my website. So I'm hoping I don't have showings all day tomorrow, because I got to get some work done. I'll probably try to start on some of them today too, but yeah. Okay. Alright, there's that. Whoops. Put my little bead bug back on there. See, that's what happens if I don't. Okay, so we want this guy on the top, this one in the middle, and this guy, did I do that? I did. Hold on, let me fix this. See, this is one reason I go ahead and put the chain on, so I realized that I made that little mistake there, and I want these to be zigzagged, and they're not gonna be if I don't do this right. Okay, so I've got this one on the top and then my chain. So this one needs to go on the bottom and then my chain, and I had that wrong. So you don't have to do it that way. I like to do it that way. So, whoops. These chains they had at the Intergalactic Bead Show, and they were like 10 chains for $20, and they were big chains, like huge long ones. So I felt like it was a really good deal. Okay, so here's what we've got now. Scoot that down. Okay, so now we're just going to do our other row, just the same as we did these. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to crimp both pieces on just like we've been doing, and I'll come right back when we do that. Okay, so I've got my two new wires crimped on here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put my beads on like I want them to go. So I'm going to start with a silver spacer, a tiny little silver spacer. I like to start with these. I don't know. I just think it gives it a more finished look when there's a little silver spacer at the beginning, or a little spacer at the beginning. And then I'm going to do these banded. Whoops. I just dropped that one. Did it go on the floor? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do some banded agate bead. And then I'm going to do my larger, and I'm going to use some bead caps with this guy. So we're going to do this, and this one. And then I'm going to do another banded agate. And again, I love these. I thought these were so pretty. Another banded agate. I'm just trying to pick out the ones that are kind of really pretty. They're all pretty, but let's do this one. I love red and turquoise together. Absolutely love it. Now let me see how long this is. Alright, so it looks like I have room for nothing else. That's it. So let me put a bead bug on. Okay, and we're just going to do the same on this other side. Okay, so I've got all of my strands strung, and everything is in the order that I want it to be. So now what I have to do is I have to crimp the ends and come together, bring them all together down here. Oops, that bead bug came off. At the end of this, the end of all of my strands. So I'm going to use one of these round, or these links that go with the chain, I believe, to do this. And all I'm going to do is, like we've been crimping, I'm just going to crimp them all to this and attach this chain to it with a jump ring. Now, the problem is this chain looks a little long compared to my other strands. So let me go ahead and do this part. Let me grab my crimps and my wire guardians. So I'm going to go ahead and put a wire guardian on. And put it on my, whoops, I do need to put a crimp bead on first, don't I? Yes, I do. That won't work without one. Okay, so let's put the crimp bead on first. Oh. And you know what I may do? I may just add a silver spacer to the end of all of these strands. That might make it just long enough to where it lines up with that other. Okay, so now I'm going to put a wire guardian on. Let's go down and around and put our little ring up in here. Now this ring may end up sitting this way. I don't know. We'll see what it does. But I'm going to go back down through my crimp bead. This is so fiddly. I really do hate messing with crimps and wire guards, but the wire guardians just make your work so much more secure. It's definitely worth it for the quality, but they are a pain. Okay, and I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to squish him together. You don't have to do that, like I said. I just feel like it makes it look neater to have him squished up together like that. Pull everything tight. You want to make sure that there's no spacing here, but you don't want this to be so tight that it won't move, like stick straight. You don't want that, but you do want it to have, you know, you don't want a bunch of loose wire. And I'm just going to I'm not even going to use the crimping pliers. I'm just going to use my flat pliers and crimp this down, because I don't have a lot of wiggle room in there and I don't want to mess with the crimping pliers because I'm not good at them. Okay, and I'm going to cut this off. So here's our first strand. Now let's look at this guy. And really, I am just going to go ahead and hook him on with a jump ring and we'll see how it lays, because chain can flop a little. I mean, I don't really want it taut. So it's probably going to be fine if it has a little movement to it and, you know, a little slack is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to hook it on with this jump ring. Oops. Just like this. Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Okay. I need to make sure that one's going to lay flat when I put this one on. And it's trying to be very difficult. Get on there. Okay. I just closed that with my finger a little bit to secure it so I could even pick up the plier. Okay. Let me make sure it's closed up good. It is not. There we go. Okay. So I've got this right here, and the chain, like I said, it can be a little bit slack. That's okay. I don't really mind that. So we're going to go ahead and hook this one on. And this can be a little fiddly until you get it all hooked together. He just wants to jump around. Okay. So again, on this one, I'm going to put a spacer bead. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to do my crimp bead and my wire guardian. Go down through the channel on here. Down through the channel. There we go. And let me get this laying right, because I do not want it twisting on me. Lay right. There we go. Now we're going to just insert him in here. Okay. Go back down through this crimp. Come on now. Back down through this crimp. And down through a couple beads, if we can get there. It's not wanting to. Never easy. This kind of stuff I have trouble with. Okay, there we go. Push him back down through there and see where he pops out. Hopefully below that bead. It's really, this wire is really giving me a heck of a time right now. There it is. It popped out way down here, which is fine. Okay. Tighten that up. There we go. That's better. Okay. There we go. Alright, so let me crimp it. I just make sure it's tight so it's not, there's no chain showing, but I make sure that it has a little bit of wiggle room so it, you know, isn't like stick straight. And I'm going to just crimp that down. Okay. Now let me cut this piece off. Right here. And here's what we've got. So that is turning out really cute. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, and I'm going to pause the video and not make you suffer through it, but do the same thing to the other side and come right back. Okay, so that has actually worked out quite nicely. I like the way it looks, and so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of my oval jump rings, and I am going to hook my lobster on one end, my little elephant lobster, wherever he may be. Here he is. So he's going to go here, and this this little ring that I've got on here is obviously going to migrate. It's going to switch. I mean, it won't just lay this way. It's going to pull up that way, and that's okay. I don't mind that. And then on this end, I'm going to take a head pin, and I'm going to make a little dangle. So I'm going to use a silver spacer, and then I'm going to do probably not the bigger beads, the smaller beads. So I will do a bead cap and this blue bead, a bead cap, and probably this sea sediment jasper bead, because I think these are awesome, and another silver spacer. And I'm just going to make this little dangle to put on the other end where my lobster will clasp onto. I just think they're cute to have a little decorative dangle on there. I think it adds a lot to the piece. Let me find my round nose pliers here. Okay, we're gonna make, what are you doing, Sadie? Oh. What are you doing? You ready to get a bath? You're very fluffy. You need a haircut and a bath. Haircut? That got your ears up. But you're not going to look at me about the bath, are you? You don't want to get a bath? Oh. I know. Oh. Bath is terrible, isn't it? You're just far too tired to even get a bath, aren't you? You really need one. You're very fluffy. Sadie. I'm not sure why rolling over and on your back has anything to do with... That's not going to get you out of taking a bath. You still have to have a bath. Do you want one? No. You're so silly. Goodness. Say hi to YouTube. Say hi. No. You're just going to ignore me, aren't you? Alright. loop like this. And then I'm just going to take one of my little jump rings and I'm going to hook it right on the other end. Just right over here on the end that my lobster is going to clasp onto. Just like that. And then I can go ahead and close this up. And it's a really, really cute little bracelet. Now, it's way too big for me. I know that I made it too long. So, you know, I could change the clasping up if I wanted. Actually, I guess it's kind of adjustable, and I could even clasp it up into here if I wanted to. Let me see. Yeah, I could even do that up into there if I wanted to, but it would probably fit somebody else really well, and I may just put it up for sale on my website because it's really, really cute. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I love these colors. Like I said, I'm going to do something with this piece and these same beads, I think, just because I love the colors so much together. But yeah, he turned out really cute, I think, even though he is a little bit big for me. Like I said, I could clasp him up in here, so it's not a huge deal. But he would probably fit the normal person with the normal size wrist just fine. So let me measure him and see how big he is. He's actually, yeah, he's right at 8 inches, so he would fit somebody else pretty well, but my wrist is just teeny. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm going to get off here and get some things done before the people come up to see our house. So I will see you in the next video. Bye!